I'd like to take a second to offer a group of support letters for the SRF WIN Act that we've been talking about, and some of you all have mentioned in your testimony. This includes the National Rural Water Association, the Council of Infrastructure Financing Authorities, the American Society of Engineers, the Associated General Contractors of America, the American Council of Engineering Companies, the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, Ducks Unlimited, the American Public Works Association, the Rural Community Assistance Partnership, the Water Systems Council, the International Union of Operating Engineers, the Vinyl Institute, the Hydraulic Institute, California Association of Sanitation Agencies, Orange County Water District. I'd also like to take a second and thank the EPA Office of Water, the Council of Infrastructure Financing Authorities, American Water Works Association, Water Environment Federation, and the Association of Metropolitan Water Agencies for providing us technical assistance to ensure that we preserve the WIFIA and SRF programs for years to come. Mr. Sternberg, let me ask you, the SRF has a great track record of handling SRF funding to address vitally important water issues, wastewater projects in the state for years. Rural states like Arkansas, though, have limited access to funding. Across the country, SRFs have thoroughly vetted projects from small, medium, and large communities that are waiting to be funded. Can you please explain what the additional funding created by another tool in the toolbox like SRF WIN, what would that mean for water infrastructure in rural America?
Thank you, Senator Boozman. That's a great question. And let me just say, Arkansas Natural Resources Commission is the agency in Arkansas that handles SRF for the Safe Drinking Water Act and Clean Water Act, and they've done an excellent job. But there's still a need. And with this bill, you've got the SRF WIN in it, and that'll allow the WIFIA program to be much more helpful to some of the rural communities that we have in Arkansas, which is a very rural state, and many of your states are rural. But not only rural communities, we think it'll steer the WIFIA to look at the communities with the greatest economic need and communities that each state thinks is the priority, and giving the state the priority that handles SRF to say this project needs to be funded. And it also allows for that low interest rate to come through with the WIFIA funding. It'll be an excellent partnership with the SRFs, and it'll be excellent to the utilities across the state of Arkansas and the many states across the nation.
Ms. Swallow, we certainly appreciate your leadership and the great job that your organization does in constantly pushing us in the right direction and really describing the situation that we're in regarding infrastructure. Can you tell us a little bit about the growing shortfall in infrastructure funding in the country?
Wow, we could talk for days about that, Senator Boozman. Yeah, so when we start talking about the investment gap needed for our infrastructure systems, you can look at drinking water alone and recognize that we waste billions of gallons of water every day through leaky pipes. That equates to trillions of gallons a year, and we don't have a single drop of water to waste, really, especially in the western portions of our country. We have a growing funding gap of, currently it's estimated for in the next 20 years, almost $750 billion. Almost $750 billion is the funding gap on our water and wastewater needs alone. And we've got to find a way to invest in this infrastructure.
Right, and so, we're all doing the best we can, we're working away, but the current situation is not near as good as we'd like. So something like, an SRF WIN type of financing, how would that affect things?
First I want to thank you for your sponsorship of the SRF WIN Act, and it is
myself and Senator Booker.
Yes, thank you, and Senator Booker. It is just one more tool in our toolbox that will help our local communities fund the infrastructure that they need to serve their communities' needs. It's intended to take the best parts of the state revolving funds and the WIFIA program and provide that access to our local communities where the state infrastructure financing authorities can implement the program It provides additional flexibility. It doesn't further tax the EPA with another program where the state infrastructure financing authorities are already administering our state revolving funds. So it's a great tool. It'll leverage the limited federal funding, $1 up to $50 in additional funding. It'll be just one more tool that our local agencies can use.
Good. Thank you very much.